I'm going to record. All right. Guys, with this calculations worksheet, all we're going to do is practice the calculations. Tomorrow you'll get a review, which is like your test. So it'll be a test review, which means it's laid out like your test. Today, we just want to make sure you know what mean, median, mode, range, LQ, UQ, IQR, mean absolute deviation are. All right. Raise your hand if you need more time with the table of contents. All right. On today's worksheet, this is number 10. Guys, ignore this date on here. That's when we did this last year. Today is not February the 8th. All right. This is number 10, though, so let's make sure we mark number 10. All right. There's one other thing that I need us to kind of fix real quick before we start working this. It says we're going to do the mean, the median, the mode, the range, the UQ, the LQ, the IQR, and the mean absolute deviation. You'll add a period by that. On some of these questions, you're going to get a repeating decimal. I can't do my MAD with a repeating decimal. I have to be able to do math. So we want to round to the 10th. If you will please write that on your paper. We want to round to the 10th. So how many decimal places is that? One. So I want one decimal place, okay? All right, so we're going to round to the 10th. If you want to work these on a separate sheet of paper, you may, but for right now, I want you setting up your work and my work the same way. So I want us on the worksheet, and then if you don't like it, you feel like it's still too squished, you can absolutely get your own piece of paper out, okay? But I want us to look at them together on the same paper first. All right. So for number 1, we're going to start off by finding, okay, let me pause and get my thoughts together. I'm sorry. Mean, median, mode, range, UQ, LQ, IQR, mean absolute deviation. That's a lot of stuff I have to do with these numbers. And these numbers are kind of all jumbled up. What would be a good idea? Before I even start doing any math, what would be a good idea to maybe make these numbers a little bit easier to work with? Camilla? Let's go ahead and write them in order. So I need that put away, okay? In order. So starting on number 1, I'm going to write them over here to the side so I still have lots of room underneath. What number should come first? Truett? 1. And I'm going to put a comma. What's going to come next, Javon? 4. All right, and next we're going to have, Maribel? 7. And next, Kelsey? 9 and 9. All right, if I mess up those numbers, I'm going to mess up the whole problem. So I don't want to just double check. Yes? On his way. I want to triple check these numbers and make sure that I have all of them. The easiest way to do that, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many numbers did I write? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many were in the problem? 5. Did I leave any out? No. Did I put any extras? No. Double check. That's a quick way to make sure that you got them all and you didn't add any extras, okay? Count them, all right? All right, so we have our numbers. Are we good with that? So now let's start doing the work. I'm going to move this, zoom it in maybe a little bit. There we go. The first thing it says in my directions up there above round is it says to find the mean. Remember, if you just do some math, I don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to write down mean. All right, and you can see I kind of went over to the side trying to make some room, okay? So I'm going to find the mean. How do I do that? What do I do first to find the mean? This is from last week. Amaya? Add all the numbers up. So I'm going to add them all up. Anahi, what does that give me? 30. After I add them, I'm still not done. What do I still have to do? What do I still have to do, Kelsey? Divide by 5. All right, you with me over there, Zach? Yeah. All right. Why am I dividing by 5? Javon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So we divide by 5. That gives me 6. So I'm going to circle that in a box. That's my answer for my mean. Are we okay with that? Okay. After mean, it said median. So I'm going to write that down. Median. All right. For my median, how do I find the median, Camilla? Write the numbers. Okay, so we can't just put them in order. We already have them in order. So that step's done. What do I need? The middle is my median. So when I look at this and I go to the middle, so there's my outside. When I go to the middle, I only have one number, right? If I have one number, I can circle it. If I have more than one number, can I circle it? No. You only circle it if there's one, okay? Only circle if there's one. So when I just put MED over it, so when I look at it later, I know what that was. So I'm going to write down 7. There's my work. There's my answer. Y'all okay with that? This is here for my work. We're good? All right. After the median, it says the mode. All right. How do I know what the mode is? My mode. How do I know what number the mode is? Kaylin? Yeah, what number is there the most? So which number is there the most, Siobhan? 9. So my mode is 9. Doesn't even take any work. We like the mode. All right. Then I have the range. What am I going to do to find the range? Truett.
Subtract the big number minus the small number.
The biggest number, which is? 9 minus the smallest number, which is?
1.
So I wrote 9 minus 1, big minus small, and what does that give me? 8. So my range here is 8. Okay. After the range, it says UQ. UQ. So that's my upper quartile. All right, upper quartile. Javon, what do I do for that?
Between 7, 9, and 9.
Okay, you're really close, Javon. So Javon said between 7, 9, and 9. So we are looking on the upper side, but do you see how 7's in a circle? It's kind of like that means it's in a bubble. We can't touch it. All right? If we touch a bubble, it's going to pop. We don't want that, okay? So the only numbers on the top are 9 and 9. Are y'all okay with that? When I try to find the middle, is there a number in the middle? No. So since I have two numbers there, I'm going to draw a line. In the middle, I need the UQ. Do you remember what I do when I have two numbers in the middle? Camilla? Add them and divide by 2. So 9 plus 9 is? 18 divided by 2 gives me? 9. Does it kind of make sense since those are the same number? Can another number fit in the middle of them? No. So my middle number will actually match. Okay. LQ. What happens on the bottom side? Write this down. Same thing happens, Maribel? Is that what you said? But instead of them being the same, they are, well, they're smaller because we're on the lower side. Which numbers are in the middle here? Because I have two numbers in the middle, right? What two numbers do I have on the lower side, Hunter? On the lower, on my LQ. Chris? 1 and 4. Do y'all agree when I look at the lower side, there are only two numbers here? If there are two numbers, I got to draw a line. So I'm going to draw a line, and what am I going to do with those two numbers? Add them. 1 plus 4 is? 5. Then divide it by 2. And what does that give me, Alana? 2.5. Is 2.5 in the middle of those two numbers? Yeah, it's between 1 and 4. That's good. All right, after LQ it says IQR. So remember that means inner quartile range. Inner quartile range. So instead of doing the regular range, I'm doing the quartile range. So what am I going to do for that, Olivia? Yeah, we're going to do our UQ and our LQ. So I'm going to take my Qs, which the top one was 9 and the lower one was, and I'm going to subtract them. Okay? So this is what we did on Monday. So my folks that were out on Monday, this is it. This is Monday's work. And what do I get when I subtract those, Anahi? 6.5. All right, are we okay with this? My folks that were out Monday, that was Monday's. 6 point. You're giving me a funny look, Carlos. What's going on? What do you mean? 9 minus 2.5. 9 went down to 6.5. Okay? All right. So the next thing it says is now we've got to do our mean absolute deviation. So this is for my people that were out yesterday. So Zach and Akenna, okay? So mean absolute deviation, the way that we're going to do that, we're going to make a little chart, okay? And on my chart, my first column is going to say mean. And remember yesterday I made us show a lot of work. Today I'm going to shorten it a little bit. Alright, so I want you to look at how my chart looks today. I put mean, instead of writing out the word subtraction, I just put a little minus sign. Are y'all okay with that? And then I put mean absolute deviation. You okay with that? Alright, so Zach, I know you weren't here. Have you got your chart drawn out before I keep going?
No.
My number 1? Okay. Alright. Again, are you good with me so far? Oh, you're good. Okay. You're good. I love it. Alright. Are you still with me? All right, so it says mean first. Guys, we've already done the mean, haven't we? Do I want to do it again? No, what was my mean? What does it say? 6. So I'm just going to write 6 there. Y'all okay with that? Ta-da! We already did the work. Let's just write the number. All right. The next thing we have to do is we have to do our subtraction. Now remember, we're going to start with the numbers in the list. Now I can use the jumbled up ones or I can use the ones I put in order. Which one y'all want to do? I like the ones in order. So I'm going to start with 1. All right, so using my calculator, I want to show you all this because some people didn't know you could do this. So we're going to do 1, and then I'm going to do minus. What am I taking away? The 6. We're always going to be subtracting the mean. So 1 minus 6, push enter.
-5.
All right, but yesterday we talked about what to write. What am I actually going to write down, Alana?
5.
Just the 5. So one of the reasons we did that, Zach, is it's the distance. Can distance be negative?
No.
No. So we got to do a positive 5. Okay, this is where it gets cool. Okay, you ready? I want everyone's eyes up here. I think I might have showed you all this yesterday just in case. Okay, the next number I want to use is 4, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push the up button on my calculator. I pushed up, and you see now it's on the 1. And I want to change 1 to 4. So I'm going to push 4, and then I'm just going to push enter. So I don't have to type the problem over and over and over again. Okay? Can you still type out the problem? Absolutely. Typing 4 minus 6, that doesn't take long. All right, so what do I get here, Jet? 2, and did you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So, when you add up all your numbers, can you, draw a line underneath and then add both sides and add up?
You can, but when I'm doing the median, LQ, and UQ, isn't it easier to have it written out long ways? So this is really going to be better to write them out side to side. Okay? Okay, so after 4, what number do I need to do? 7. So I'm going to push my up arrow, make it a 7. And what do I get, Tony? 1. And after 7, what do I need to do? 9. So I'm going to push the up arrow, make it a 9, push enter, and I get 3. Guys, if you're not, I would try using that up arrow so you know that you can work it. And then it says 9 again. So what's that going to give me again? 3. All right. Are we okay with, we just subtracted every single number. Now what do I need to do with my new numbers? What am I going to do? Noah? I'm going to do the mean again. So now we're going to add them. So, Zach, I'm going to get you to help me out. 5 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3. Type that in our calculator and tell me what do we get. Close. I'm going to get Tony to help me out, but I'm going to get you to do the next part, okay, Zach? So get that added up for me. What do we get? 14. So we were close. So 14. All right. So Zach, on the mean, after you add them, what's the next step? Like when you're doing the mean. To divide. And how many numbers did you just add, Zach? 5. So I'm going to divide by 5. And what does that give me? What does that give me, Truett?
2.8.
2.8. And that is my mean absolute deviation.
I got 0.8. 4 divided by 5.
14.
Oh, 14.
Okay. All right. So, guys, do y'all see how my work, we did a lot of different things, but did it really take a lot of steps for each one? No, each one is just a couple of steps. Mean absolute deviation. Remember, it makes us mad because it takes the most work. But other than that, this isn't too bad. Yes? Let me see your calculator. All right, so on number 2, what do I need to do first on number 2? Chris? Okay, so instead of putting that answer thing, actually do 14 divided by 5.
Oh.
Okay, so sometimes we just want to type it in. All right, what do I need to do first? I'm sorry, Chris? Least to greatest. So let's put them in order. So what's going to come first on number 2? 1. All right, hold on. So I got 1. What comes next, Gabby? 2. Next, Alana? 3. Next, Hunter? 3. Next, Devon? 6. And next, Zach? 7. Okay, so I've got them in order now. Now let's start doing some math. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do again is the mean. All right, what do I have to do to find the mean? Truett.
Add them all up.
Add them up. What do I get when I add them up? 22. And then after I add them up, what do I need to do? Jason? Divide by 6. Awesome job. All right. Now, when I type that into my calculator, 22 divided by 6, that gives me that funky number, right? Guys, my directions said to round, so can I do a bar? No, what is that going to need to be? It says round to the 10th. Carlos? A 6 is going to change to a 7. Now, remember, 10th means how many numbers do I want after the decimal? Just 1. So what's that? How am I going to write that? Chris? Not 67, 3.7. We just want one number after the decimal, okay? 3.7. Are y'all okay with how I rounded that? Okay. After the mean is the median. All right. Ooh, when I do the median, what's happening here on the median, Camilla? There are 2 numbers in the middle. When I go to the middle, there's 1 and 7, 2 and 6. Then I end up at 3 and 3. Am I going to circle those if there are 2 numbers? No, we're going to draw a line. We're going to draw a line and say, okay, my median's in the middle. And now what am I going to do with those numbers, Carlos? Add them. 3 plus 3 is 6. And then what? Divide by 2, because we added 2 numbers. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And are we surprised it's the same number? No, because look, 3 and 3 were both the same, right? So it should make sense that that's going to be 3. Okay, so after the median is the mode. What is my mode going to be for number 2? Alana? 3. After the mode is the range. What is my range? How am I going to find my range? Kelsey? Largest number, which is 7, minus the smallest number, 1, and that gives me 6. So there's my range. Okay. All right, so again, this is what you were telling me you didn't understand, right, Carlos? I'm going to pick on you for a second, okay? All right, so we're going to do, after the range, it says UQ. All right, so Carlos, I need your help. On the UQ, so that means on the upper side, what number is going to be my UQ? All right, close. How many numbers do I have? 3. What's in the middle? So I only need the 6. A minute ago, we had 2 numbers because it was even. Here, since there are 3, is there 1 in the middle? So we want to circle it. If there's 1, you circle it. If not, then we'd have to draw the line. Are y'all okay with that? So I got 6 as my UQ. All right, Carlos, what's my LQ? Very good. And that's my LQ, and we get 2. Okay? IQR, Chris? What am I going to do for my IQR? Close. Think about R. That's like the range. Javon?
Subtract 6 and 2.
6 minus 2, which is 4. Okay. So now I've got my IQR. Now I'm down to the last one. The MAD, it makes us mad because it's so much work. So I'm going to draw my chart out so I can do all the work. So I'm going to do my mean. After for the mean, it's subtraction. And then I can do my math. All right. For the mean, what was my mean, Hunter? 3.7. Do I need to work it out again? No, we can just write it down. All right. What is my first subtraction problem going to be? My first subtraction problem. Carlos?
3.7 minus 1.
Other way.
1 minus 3.7.
1 minus 3.7. And we're doing it that way because, remember, when I change the numbers, which one am I going to want to change? The 1 is what's going to change. So we're going to do 1 minus 3.7. What does that give me, Carlos? 2.7. Perfect. All right. My next number that I'm going to use is 2. 2 minus 3.7. What does that give me, Alana? 1.7. Then I have 3. 3 minus 3.7. A 9? A 9. 0.7. Thank you. And then when I do 3 again, I'm going to get the same thing. All right. Zach, 6 minus 3.7. 2.3. And then 7 minus 3.7. Alana? 3.3. Okay. So now what do I need to do with all those numbers we just got? Zach? Add them. What do we get when we add them up? You got that, Chris? What'd you get? 11.4. And what am I going to do with that now, Chris? Divide by 6. Excellent. So I do 11.4 divided by 6 in my calculator. And what does that give me? Owen? 1.9. 1.9. Okay. All right. So we've done 2 of them together. That only leaves you with 3 to do tonight. Okay. So I want us starting on number 3. Go ahead, write them in order. If you want to, what might be a good idea is go ahead, write 3 in order, write 4 in order, and write 5 in order. Go ahead and put them all in order so then you're ready to do all the math. All right?